Crown the back-to-school champion parent with a Sagicor Bank unsecured loan.
The time by Sagicor Bank is
Tonight in CVM News at 7, special services head to the polls, over 45,000 to cast ballots on August 29. Manifesto destiny, parties outline plans if elected. JLP, PNP dangle tax relief, economist not convinced. We've got an election edition of Small Biz Big Dreams. And in sports, Jamaica Premier League action sizzles. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7. It's Monday, August 25, 2025. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Easier said than done. That's how one economist is this evening describing the tax breaks proposed by the two major political parties. As the country heads to the polls in just over a week, both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party have announced sweeping tax relief measures that they each say will be implemented on a phased basis. Amoy Harriet has the details.
Jamaica Labour Party leader Dr. Andrew Holness at a mass rally in St. James on Sunday.
Over time, we will reduce the base rate of personal income tax from 25% to 15% on a phased basis and shift gradually from direct to indirect taxation, which will allow hard-working Jamaicans to keep more of their paycheck.
While that was happening over in Manchester at their own mass rally, this was People's National Party President Mark Golding.
Under the PNP government that is to come, we will be increasing the tax threshold so that persons who currently pay tax at 25%, if they are earning up to $3.5 million a year, they will be paying tax at 0%.
Currently, a personal income tax rate of 25% is applied to the salaries of persons earning over $1.7 million annually, 30% for income exceeding $6 million. Notably, of the roughly 1.4 million employed people in Jamaica, about 700,000 are subjected to pay taxes, and of that group, just 30% earn above the income tax threshold. Economist Keenan Faulkner is questioning the fiscal sustainability of the JLP and PNP's proposals. He maintains it's highly unlikely for either proposals to be implemented in the next 2 years.
We are projected to run a fiscal deficit of around $33 to $35 billion, or around 1% of GDP in the next 2 fiscal years. So the phased implementation of either of them, I think, will have to start at least from fiscal year 2027, 2028, and possibly be concluded by the end of the next parliamentary term or early into the following term after that. So it is likely to be of the magnitude of billions, tens of billions of dollars, at least $20 billion on each side.
But who'll foot that bill?
If the parties do not want to impose taxes, and I'm sure members of the electorate don't really want to hear that in order to fund this, then what other potential areas will get cut? Or are you willing now as a government to run a larger fiscal deficit than you had initially programmed?
He says, however, there may be room for flexibility given recent reports which suggest that Jamaica is making significant progress in reducing its debt to GDP ratio.
That potentially possibly opens up some amount of fiscal space in order to accommodate this additional absorption of revenue. But we're not quite sure what that might look like. 5% anticipated when the debt to GDP ratio declined from 63% to 62%, can afford potentially an additional $200 billion, depending on the priorities and the needs of expenditure for the government. So it is all now to see how that can be recalibrated over the next couple of years to see if we can sustainably afford this in the medium term.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
The Jamaica Labour Party has released its much-anticipated manifesto just weeks before Jamaicans head to the polls. The party says the document contains solutions for every sector and every citizen. Our reporter Akeem Aret tells us more.
We're not launching one document, We're not launching two documents, We're launching 3 documents today.
The wait is over. Jamaicans now have in hand the Jamaica Labour Party's 2025 manifesto. Chairperson of the Manifesto and Achievement Committee, Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, says it's a document built with the people in mind.
The Jamaica Labour Party is a party that believes that everyone is important and everyone deserves to see and know what they are voting for. So in our manifesto, we have plans for everyone. We have something for the farmer. We have something for the tourism worker. We have something for the entrepreneur. We have something for public and private sector workers. We have something for our women, our men, our children, our young people, our environmentalists, our entertainers, our athletes, our vulnerable groups.
But the party didn't stop there. Along with the main manifesto, the JLP launched a companion plan exclusively for the education sector, described as one of the most important commitments.
So I am proud to also launch this education manifesto that has so many sector-focused policies, priorities that will transform Jamaica and build on the positive results we're already seeing.
Senator Johnson-Smith is encouraging Jamaicans to carefully review the party's vision to see how it connects with their daily lives.
We want you to look at our next chapter and we want you to read it, go through it and find what's in it. Choose what works for you, what you find that's important for you, and you will find every reason to choose the Jamaica Labour Party.
The JLP says the manifesto is not just a campaign promise, but a roadmap to growth, stability, and an opportunity for all. Akeem Aret, CVM News.
In the meantime, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the Jamaica Labour Party's newly released manifesto contains key provisions for senior citizens. He notes that among the proposals is a plan to improve access to health insurance for persons 60 years and older.
In this manifesto, we care about our golden agers.
And we'll have more on that clip later. But the People's National Party, PNP, has trimmed down its policy blueprint, unveiling a manifesto light dubbed the People's Guide. The document, a mix of old and new proposals, was presented today as the opposition tries to distill its message ahead of the next round of national debates. Raymond Morrison picks up that story.
The heart of Manchester turned into a tide of orange Sunday evening. In the crowd, horn-blowing, beaming supporters. On stage, a fiery Dr. Dayton Campbell reacting to the first national debate, which was staged on Saturday. According to the General Secretary, public sentiment suggests the PNP came out victorious, but the Jamaica Labour Party is also claiming victory.
When we listen to the analysts on TV, them say PNP win. When we listen to the analysts on CVM, them say PNP win. When we go over social media, PNP win. The only place Labour right win over nationwide, and Labour right won't win.
In the meantime, Dr. Campbell says he's predicting a sweeping victory for the PNP in the parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth.
I hear the outgoing Prime Minister saying that there are no safe seats. And I want to tell him from down in Manchester tonight, Mr. Manchester and St. Elizabeth. 8 out of 8. We have a clean sweep. The parishes of Manchester and St. Elizabeth.
On the matter of transportation, opposition spokesman on transport Michael Phillips is insisting a review of the Road Traffic Act is needed.
We're going to have that conversation within the PNP government. What we do with the people with all them tickets and who losing them license for some things that is trivial and unjust.
Amoy Howard reporting for CVM News.
And the story we promised you earlier, because that's the PNP rally in Manchester. But, well, we have the PNP's trimmed down policy blueprint unveiling their manifesto light that's dubbed the People's Guide. It's a document that combines a mix of old and new proposals. And it was presented today as the opposition tries to distill its message ahead of the next round of national debates. Here now is Raymond Morrison.
In the heat of election season, the People's National Party PNP is putting its policies in plain sight. On Monday, the opposition unveiled what it's calling a manifesto light, a condensed version of its 70-page blueprint, mixed with new proposals and repackaged under the title, The People's Guide.
We recognize that a manifesto which is over 50 pages long is not accessible to all Jamaicans. Not everybody wants to read such a long document. Not everybody wants to scour it to see how it impacts them. We also had some ideas which we chose not to announce in the manifesto itself 2 weeks ago, but we wanted to announce closer to the election date for various reasons.
The move, aimed at making the party's promises more digestible, comes as the campaign trail intensifies and the debate season heats up. Julian Robinson, opposition spokesman on finance, who will take the stage in the second national debate on the economy Tuesday night, used the unveiling to highlight the PNP's record on growth.
When we inherited the economy in 2012 under the leadership of the Most Honorable Portia Simpson Miller as Prime Minister and Dr. Peter Phillips as Minister of Finance, we had to undertake significant work, heavy lifting to re-establish Jamaica's credibility with our international partners. What did we do? We enhanced and strengthened the fiscal rules, and we legislated, and I want to emphasize this, we legislated the debt to GDP projection so that we could get to 60% by 2028.
And in the meantime, Damien Crawford, still fired up from Saturday night's social issues debate, took aim at the government's handling of tax reliefs and teacher salaries.
What we have indicated with our proposals up to last night and today is our commitment not to increasing taxes, but indeed to relief taxes. And it is more equitable, as that has been the central context of the People's National Party's proposals for the very longest time. As is indicated by our calculations, a teacher, for example, would only benefit from the Jamaica Labour Party's proposal to $80,000, while a person earning to the tune of $28 million, like the Prime Minister, will benefit $2.6 million. Therefore, this reduction from 25 to 15% would once again be disproportionately beneficial to persons like the Prime Minister as versus in comparison to persons like teachers.
With the People's Guide now out, the PNP is hoping the simplified approach will connect with voters. Attention now shifts to Tuesday night's economy debate, where the party will look to defend its record and sell its vision against the government. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
More CVM News at 7 in a moment.
Is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
This is your country. You deserve to own a piece of it. The Jamaica Labour Party is doing more for you. We've issued over 67,000 mortgages, delivered over 23,000 land titles, and built over 35,000 new homes. We launched new housing programs and reduced NHT rates to record lows. So vote JLP. Put your X beside the bell.
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
BC BCIC is giving up to $5 million in free content insurance.
We've developed a free online calculator. So anybody in Jamaica, any homeowner can go on to BCIC online. You don't even have to be a BCIC customer, and it will give you a building value.
When you update your home's rebuilding cost with our online calculator, you'll get $5 million in free content insurance and up to 12 months to pay your premium.
If you're not insured, go get it now. Better to be safe than sorry.
Did you know that you can vote without the new voter ID card? Once you're registered to vote, that is, your name is on the voters list, you can vote in the upcoming election. If you don't have your voter ID card, visit your polling station on election day and our trained election day workers will assist you. That was a message from the Electoral Office of Jamaica.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
If anybody is to give us advice on good policies, it cannot be the PNP that wrecked Jamaica in their 22 years in office. When the PNP signed a deal with the JPS that didn't benefit the customers, that wrecked you and wrecked Jamaica. This is the first time in history that the Jamaica Labour Party is going to get an opportunity to renegotiate a brand new JPS license. And for the first time, we are in the driver's seat. After they negotiated a flawed JPS contract in 2001 and came back and did the same thing in 2016. Who you want to negotiate this license? Because guess what? You see the whole deal? You see the whole license? You see the whole license what them have? See it there?
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Continuing the news, police officers, soldiers and election day workers will head to the polls this Friday ahead of the rest of the country. The Electoral Office of Jamaica EOJ says over 45,000 special services electors are eligible to vote on August 29. Raymond Morrison has this report.
More than 45,000 special services electors, including police officers, soldiers, and election day workers, are set to cast their ballots this Friday, August 29. The Electoral Office of Jamaica EOJ says it's putting the final touches of preparations to conduct the polls at over 200 locations island-wide.
The Electoral Office of Jamaica is currently finalizing preparations to conduct the polls for the special services electors across the island. A total of 250 locations will be used to accommodate the voting. That is 10 polling locations for the military, 21 for the police, and 184 polling locations for election day workers. The Representation of the People Act allows for special services electors to vote ahead of the population so that they will be available for service on election day.
For the 2025 general election, 12,900 police officers, just over 5,000 soldiers, and more than 27,000 election day workers are eligible to vote. But how does that stack up against the last general election in 2020? There were more election day workers, but fewer police and soldiers taking part. This year, the number of voting locations has also grown from 169 to 215. And it's not just about the general election.
Additionally, election day workers, police, and military electors who are eligible to vote in the electoral divisions of Denham Town, Chancery Hall, and Olympic Gardens will also have the opportunity to cast their ballots for these local government by-elections. So there are some cases where you will have election day workers, police, and military electors on Friday, August 29, receiving 2 ballot papers. One would be for the general election and the other one for the local government by-election.
Under the law, these electors must vote early to ensure that they are available for duty on September 3, when the rest of the country heads to the polls. But if they miss August 29, they will not get another chance. Their names have already been removed from the general voters list. The ballots cast Friday will be locked away and only counted with the rest of the votes on election day. Raymond Morrison, CVM News.
In other news now, 2 men are dead and 2 firearms recovered following a brazen daylight confrontation with police in a section of Rose Heights, St. James this afternoon. CVM News spoke to a relative of one of the deceased. Kevin Black has more.
Guns, but no glory, for 2 men allegedly killed in a gun battle with the police in St. James Monday afternoon. A well-placed senior police source told our news team that following a shooting incident between rival gangs in Rose Heights Sunday night, a decision was taken to heighten security in the space and ward off reprisal shootings. However, police, while on patrol in the area sometime after 1 p.m. Monday, came face-to-face with 2 armed men along Palm Tree Drive in a section of the community. After a while trading bullets, police say the men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. They were subsequently taken to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Police say one of the men has been on the St. James Division Most Wanted list for some time. 2 firearms were reportedly removed from the scene. Up to mid-afternoon, the police were awaiting Indicom investigators to process the scene. Meanwhile, CVM News spoke to the mother of one of the men off camera. She also sought anonymity.
Me just get a call, so then just kill him. I don't hear nothing more.
I mean, do you know him to be any wrong, anything problem with the police?
He went there, got jail for stab one youth now, but when instead free of it. So me don't know, me can't tell you. Because people do things sometimes you the parents don't know, so me not going to swear for him, I don't know. You understand? So I don't know.
And when asked what sort of child her son was, she reasoned.
You know, to give me no problem, but me don't know. But then say they going to find him? But me don't know. I can't show, I can't lie, me don't know.
But being as a mother, no matter, you must hurt your child.
You know, so me just relax and just left in a God, and because if a God's will, me can't do nothing about it. And if I know God wills, mistake can't do nothing about it. You understand? So me just have to know what they say, I wasn't there. So me can't tell lie. You understand? And God can't tell the truth.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
When we return, small biz, big dreams.
Is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Able to be a part of the service a while ago and to greet the church higher ministry a while ago, so that's wonderful. So now I'll be heading now to a grave digging, and this is South Manchester grave digging, far different from many other grave diggings in this country. We in South Manchester, basically it's a celebration, and people group up and gather there from various locations to come to pay their respect and to lend their support to the family that would have had the deceased. I used to do tracks for New Forest School, and I used to play football for the school, and I also used to play cricket for New Forest School. So after, in the evenings and weekends, sometimes we'd have to be here training because of what? Because we wanted to represent the school and to represent the school well. There are plans for the fishing village in Alligator Pond. As a mechanical engineer with a vast amount of experience and knowledge, would have looked at the corner and Yes, as engineers, what we do is to find solutions to problems. And this corner has a serious problem. And yes, with my engineering skills and experience, I have the solution to address this issue. This has been CVM, a day in my life behind the bottle.
This feature was brought to you by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Thanks so much for staying with us. Now here is Raymond Morrison with Small Biz, Big Dreams.
Thank you, Nika. In Jamaica, politics isn't just about the campaign trail or the platform. It spills into every corner of life, even in business. And when election season hits, the colors people wear and the shoes they step out in take on a whole new meaning. In this week's Small Biz, Big Dreams, we explore how local entrepreneurs are dressing for democracy and cashing in on the political style wave. This is the story of businesses in the election. Election season in Jamaica is loud, lively, and unmistakable. The flags, the songs, the rallies, and yes, even the fashion. For small vendors, the political palette can mean profits or pitfalls.
You see, people we're in the politics thing. Them know which part we go get them colors already. Politicians, them a give out them green and them a give out them orange. So the people them a get them colors in a them constituency.
But business is business, and for this vendor, every customer is welcome, no matter which party they support.
Sometimes we go as far as 2-5, cause so the thing said. Cause we now make money pass, you know, cause time hard. They can come grab something for your rally next time, man. As we are say, if you're not 3 grand, 2-5 can't work. See it here? We have the green and we have the orange.
From dresses to footwear, it's a political fashion statement. And when it comes to shoes, few names carry the street cred like Clark's. Signature Styles, the official distributor, says the political season always brings an interesting trend in sales.
They come in and see the shoes and like the style. If it's a specific color, it doesn't matter if the color is a green or an orange color. If they like the shoe, they like the shoe. But they actually won't get it because they don't like that certain type of color because of the political politician going on right now, you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's a trend that didn't come out of nowhere. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has made the green Clarks a political symbol of his own. At the JLP mass rally in Halfway Tree, he shared that as a young man, he always wanted a pair, but his mother couldn't afford it.
And she said to me, Andrew, I don't have the money to do that. Wear the shoes that you wear throughout the year. Go to your graduation, you'll be in a gown, nobody will see it. So you understand why I always have my Clark's shoes.
Andrew Holness well clean in a brand new Clark's football.
But not to be outdone, opposition leader Mark Golden has been making waves too, debuting custom-made sneakers at the party's mass rally in Crossroads, in what many see as a play to carve out his own signature style and give the Prime Minister some competition. So whether it's the vendor pushing discount dresses, or the retailers stocking up on green and orange Clarks, one thing is clear. In election season, style and politics go hand in hand.
Persons are coming and asking for green Clarks mostly, but yeah, I expect to see it. I hope to see it too, so yeah.
Politics divides, but for small businesses, it's also an opportunity. Election season brings its own economy, where fashion becomes a language and colors speak louder than words. I am Raymond Morrison, and this has been Small Biz, Big Dreams.
Stay with us. Lots more to come on the other side of this break.
Every child deserves a home filled with love. When hope meets heart, a new journey begins.
Welcome home, David.
Welcome, David.
When we are bucket together, it put you in a good mood. Every moment you share is finger licking good.
The Time by KFC is.
Every child deserves a home filled with love. When hope meets heart, a new journey begins.
Welcome home, David.
Welcome, David. Make it your own.
Family is built on moments shared.
Go, David, yes!
Every smile and every shared moment connects us with a brighter future. Here, you're not just welcomed, you're family. Foster hope, foster love, foster a child today. Contact the CPFSA for more information.
The following is a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
If anybody is to give us advice on good policies, it cannot be the PNP that wrecked Jamaica in their 22 years in office. When the PNP signed a deal with the JPS that didn't benefit the customers, that wrecked you and wrecked Jamaica. This is the first time in history that the Jamaica Labour Party is going to get an opportunity to renegotiate a brand new JPS license. And for the first time, we are in the driver's seat. After they negotiated a flawed JPS contract in 2001 and came back and did the same thing in 2016. Who you want to negotiate this license? Because guess what? You see the whole deal? You see the whole license? You see the whole license what them have? See it there?
The proceeding was a paid announcement by the Jamaica Labour Party.
So glad you stayed. We've been asking our viewers across our digital platforms, who do you think would make a better health minister? Now, based on the Andrew Holness cabinet and the Mark Golding shadow cabinet, we considered Dr. Christopher Tufton as the overwhelming favorite based on these polls, and opposition shadow spokesperson Dr. Alfred Dawes received some amount of pushback. However, on Instagram, Floyd Green stretched his lead with 74%. This is on agriculture in relation to Dr. Dayton Campbell's 26%. On Facebook, Campbell secured 37%, while Green received 61%. On YouTube, Green dominated with 75% compared to Dr. Campbell's 25%. When the numbers were tallied, the overall result showed Floyd Green with 70% and Dr. Dayton Campbell with 29%. We started a poll to ask our social media viewers so much more, but we'll take a look at it now in socials.
So, we started a poll to ask our social media users,
Who do you believe will make a better Minister of Agriculture? Based on the current Andrew Holness cabinet and the Mark Golden Shadow cabinet, the choice was between Floyd Green and Dr. Dayton Campbell. The responses have been coming in hot. Let's take a look at your reactions. At Sophia Stamp writes, Dr. Dayton Campbell, well, his great knowledge of science and health, plus he knows how to deal with persons of different backgrounds. At Pretty_Gemini_Babe_Shav comments, one Floyd Green, Minister of Agriculture, forward ever, backwards never. At the Fox with ads, only one of them can campaign on performance. The other one are propaganda and promises. At Positive Ken.C says, Dr. Dayton Campbell is much more aggressive and passionate about his job. He would do well. At One China Doll writes, Floyd named Green for a reason. At Yard Vibes_@ads, well, Green already eat 300 bag of fertilizer, rather is in a state of shambles. I know Dr. Campbell knows how to use his resources, and that's what's happening online. Stay tuned on our social media platforms as we explore what the public thinks about who would be the best minister ahead of the 2025 elections. That's CVM TV on X and CVM_television on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Michael Paul.
And it's now over to regional and international news.
We begin with news in the region. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has vowed to allow U.S. forces access to Trinidadian territory to defend the people of Guyana. The Prime Minister, in a statement, also said her government fully supports the U.S. government's deployment of American military assets into the Caribbean region to destroy the terrorist drug cartels. That report from TTT News.
International news reports confirm that the U.S. Navy has deployed 3 naval destroyers with aircraft and thousands of Marines to the Caribbean. The vessels will be stationed in waters off the coast of Venezuela in a move to counter drug trafficking allegedly linked to the Venezuelan government. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has not received any requests from the American government for their military assets to access Trinidadian territory for any military action against the Venezuelan regime. However, she made it clear that if Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro launches any attack against the Guyanese people or invades Guyanese territory, and a request is made by the American government for access to Trinidadian territory to defend the people of Guyana, her government will unflinchingly provide them that access. There is an ongoing territorial dispute between Guyana and Venezuela over the Essequibo region. Prime Minister Persad-Bissessar also said the deployment of American military assets into the Caribbean region to destroy the terrorist drug cartels has the full support of the government of Trinidad and Tobago.
In Barbados, the spirit of cultural pride and forward-thinking was alive at Freedom Park as Carafesta 15 hosted one of its most anticipated events, the Big Conversations. More from CBC News, Barbados.
Before an engaged audience of cultural practitioners and young minds, speakers tackled the idea of civilization. They challenged the region to embrace its history, harness its talent, and shape its own destiny. The message was clear. Caribbean people must define themselves and strengthen their bonds if they are to thrive on the global stage. Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, described his idea of Caribbean civilization.
Through the fever of history, we have fashioned a civilization of a very special kind in this Caribbean, a creolized civilization of high quality.